Hi guys, this is going to be an MQL5 tutorial video in which I'm going to show you how to implement the break-even function into your own expert advisor. So right here on my screen you can see a very simple expert advisor that opens buy and sell positions based on the moving average crossover. So here you can see the code. It's the checking two moving averages, one is fast and one is slow, and on their crossover this EA opens either buy position or sell position. Here I have created some input variables, fast moving average period, slow moving average period, and take profit and stop loss points. So this is an EA that I will use the break even on, and I just want to show you how to do it. I will show you multiple ways of the break even. You can do the simple break even that I will start with, and also I will show you some more advanced break even options. So let's start right here. Firstly, we have to create two input variables of type double. So let's do that. And the first one is going to be break even trigger points. Let's set that to 100. And the second one is going to be break even trigger move points. Let's set that to 50, for example. So if you know about how the break even works, it basically moves the stop loss of your position into a profit once the position is in profit certain amount of points or pips. Here we are determining how many points in a profit the position has to be in order to move the stop loss. So this is the parameter that we are going to use for that. And this second one is for how many points into the profit we are going to move the stop loss. So yeah, that's it, very simple. And let's create our first function. So type of void simple break even function, and this is going to be just the simplest break even function you can use in your code. So for this firstly we have to iterate through all of the open positions, because we are going to work with all of the positions that we have. So for this we are going to create this for loop x equal to 0, and we will loop through all of the positions until x is smaller than positions total, and we will increase the x variable on each iteration. So now we have to gain information or get information for each of those positions that we are going to loop through. And the first information we need is the ticket of the position. Position get ticket. So this is like an identification number for the position. Next we need open and current price. So that's going to be like this. Open price equals order position get double. So that's open price, current price, it's going to be the same thing here. So let's copy this, and it's current. Now we need also take profit and stop loss. So pos TP, it's right here. Position stop loss, it's going to be right here. Also we need the type of the position, and that's integer, so type. And I'll also declare a new variable here called distance, and I will initialize it as 0. So this is it for now. Right now we have for each of the open positions we have its ticket number, open price, current price, position, take profit and stop loss values, and also the position type. So we can have two position types in this case. So let's start with the first. So if the position type equals the position type buy, so we are having a long position, then we'll do something, and let's add here the else statement, because there are only two positions we can use, buy positions and sell positions. Therefore there's no need for coding else if statement here. So this is it. Now we are going to use the distance variable. We are going to assign a value to it because what we need to know at this stage is how many points are we in a profit or a loss. So we can determine whether we should move the break even or we should move the stop loss into a profit or not. So let's do that. So for buy position, we are interested in the current price minus open price, and we will divide all of this by point. And for sell position, it's going to be the same thing, but we'll start with open price and we'll extract current price from that and also divide it by point. So this is it, and now let's continue. Let's create another if statement. So if distance is larger or equal to break even trigger points, so yeah, this is the first condition, and also stop loss position stop loss, sorry, is below the open price. So that means that the position we are working with isn't or wasn't changed by us in the past. If those two conditions are met, then we can position modify. With the ticket number that we obtained, we'll of course set a new stop loss, which is going to be open price plus break even move points, like this, and take profit can stay the same. So this is it for the buy positions, and for the sell position it's going to be almost the same, but here let's change this sign to larger, and position modify here open price extracted by break even move points, and this should be it. Let's test it. So here on the main on tick function, I'm just going to call simple break even function, and let's check if it works. So here is the tester. Here you can see the settings. So fast moving average is 15, slow is 50, take profit points is 200, stop loss points is 600 points, and we will activate the break even at 100 points into a profit and we'll move the stop loss 50 points above the stop loss or below the open price. Depends on the position type, but this is it. So let's sorry, I messed up. Let's start the test and see how it goes. So here you can see it. Now we are going now we are waiting for a sell position to open right here, and we are in the sell position. Here you can see the initial take profit is right here, and stop loss is going to be above the open price, so right here at 600 points. And let's see what happens. Okay, the price goes up. Sorry, I'll slow it down even more. So the price goes up, now it reverts back down, and okay, at this point you can see that from the open price we are 110 points in the profit, so our 100 points threshold condition was met, and therefore we are moving the stop loss into the profit of 50 points, as you can see here. And yes, so just wait for the buy position. Okay, we have lost the buy position, that's okay. Let's wait for another position to open, another buy position, and yes, it worked on the buy position as well, and you will see that we closed the position with 50 points in a profit. So this is it for the simplest break even that you can use in your EA. Let's move on to some more advanced stuff here. So in this case we had to set the static trigger and move points. Now let's make it more dynamic. What I'm going to do right now is that I'm going to copy this simple, I will rename it as dynamic break-even function, and these two variables will have a new meaning. The trigger points, or do you know what, I'm going to copy them and I'm going to rename them break-even trigger points. Let's change that to percentage, move percentage. So what we are going to do now is that we are going to measure the distance from take profit to the current price, and then what I will do is that I will trigger the break even in case that the profit is certain percentage of that distance. So for example, if our take profit is going to be 500 points, and here in the trigger percentage will be value of 10, then the trigger points is going to be 50, because we want to trigger the break even at the 10% of the take profit, and if the take profit is 500, then 10% of it is 50 points. And this is how it's going to work. Let's change this move percentage to 5%. So once again, if the take profit is 500 points, we will trigger at 50 points and move it by 25 points, or trigger it at 10% and move it by 5%. So this is what I'm going to implement right now. So the code is going to stay the same until here. We are going to change these parts of code. Let's create two internal variables. First one is going to be called trigger points, and the second one is going to be called move points. So at this stage we want to change also this piece of code, because right now we are not interested in the current price and open price, but we are interested in take profit, position take profit minus open price, and here we are just going to change it to this. Okay, so here is our distance from take profit to the open price, and therefore we can calculate how many points is the trigger and the move points. So trigger points is going to be distance divided by 100, so we get 1%, and then we multiply it by break-even trigger percentage, and move points is going to be also the same, divided by 100, and then multiplied by the break-even move percentage. And we'll do exactly the same thing right here. And let's code our if else statement. So if trigger points, one moment, yes, we also need the second distance, so double, let's say distance 2, and I forgot that we are going to need the distance in profit as well, so it's going to be current price minus open price divided by point, as we had before, and the same thing goes here, just change open price minus current price. And also what we want to do is to trigger points divided by equals point, and the same goes for equal point, and the same goes for the move points as well. So let's do exactly the same thing right here, and we have everything that we need. Okay, so let's do it. So if trigger points is larger or equal than distance 2 and position stop loss is lower than open price, so this stays the same, then we want to trade position modify with a ticket. Let's open price plus move points, and position take profit stays the same, so this is exactly the same as we did before. And let's do it like this, and just change this here, and here is extraction. So this is what we have. I think it should be working, so now let's comment this out and call the dynamic break-even function, and let's see if it works or if it doesn't work. So let's change the stop loss points to 1000 and take profit to 500, and let's change this percentage to 20% and move to 10%. So based on these settings, we should move, okay, and just for, so you can say that it doesn't work, in this case we should move the stop loss when we are 100 points in a profit, and we should move it by 50 points. So let's see if that works also or not. Okay, so we have some kind of error somewhere, invalid stops. So we are trying to modify. Okay, so here is some sort of an issue. Okay, so there's some issue with the code. Let's check it out. So yeah, we are back here and let's see what happens. Position stop loss is open price, so this should be okay, and then move points. Oh, I see. It should be I think it should be like this. Let's check it out once again if it works. Okay, it still doesn't work. We are still having the invalid stops. So we are trying to modify the sell position to a negative stop loss, which is something we don't want to do. So we are at open price minus move points. Okay, so we are checking the open price. We are getting points here. So we are still converting it to points. So here should be points, and yes, I just didn't change it right here down below. I changed it only here but not here. So let's see if this works. Now it should work, and it works. As you can see, there are 50 points as we wanted. And let's wait for another. Now there is going to be a loss, I think. Yeah, now we are losing trade, but that's okay. Let's wait for another one, and it should be also 50 points in a profit, which it is. Okay, so let's try another setting here. So let's say, for example, 50% and 25%. So right now we should activate it at 250 points in a profit and move it to 125. So let's see if that works as well. So we are having sell position. Now it's activated, and check if it's 125 points, and it is. Okay, so this is how you code a dynamic break-even based on the percentage it had moved. So this is the second type, and now I also will do the last type of the break-even that I want to show you, and that is the ATR-based break-even. So let's copy the first function here, and for this we have to initially get the ATR values. So let's create another handle called ATR handle, and let's do this. So symbol, period current, and period, let's say 14. So this is okay, and yes, then we'll do something like this. So ATR value, and we'll copy buffer, ATR handle 001, and ATR ATR val. It should be working. Yes, it's working. So now we have to create another two variables. So input double break-even ATR multiplier trigger. So let's call this 2, and input double break-even ATR multiplier move. Let's call this 1. So the functionality of this piece of code is exactly the same as it was in this case, or in this case we are simply determining the trigger and move. So in this case it applies to the ATR value. So we get some ATR value, and here we are saying that the trigger is going to be ATR value multiplied by this value, so in this case 2, so it's going to be 2 ATRs, and we want to move the stop loss to 1 ATR into a profit. I hope this makes sense, and let's code it. It's going to be really simple. We just have to do one thing, and that is that we are going to remove this point part, and we are going to do this. So in this case it's ATR value at position 0. So now we are getting our ATR value right here from our ATR array, and we will multiply this by break-even ATR mult trigger. Okay, and here we will also delete this part, and we'll do ATR value at position 1 or at position 0. So we are getting the ATR value, and we will multiply this by break-even ATR move, and let's copy this part of code and put it here, and then this take part of code, and replace this by it. So yeah, this is the ATR break-even function. Let's comment this out, and let's call the ATR break-even function and see if it works. So let's stick with these values, and let's run it. So now we don't know how many points we have to be in a profit. Okay, so it seems like at this point the the ATR value was 51 points. So we have, yeah, it's 51 points and it works. Let's wait here. Now there should be a losing trade. Yes, of course. This is the same stuff as it was before. Let's wait for this position, and we are moving. Okay, let's wait for another one so we can clearly see the break even. It's going against us. That's not what we wanted to see. Come on, let's wait. Okay, and in this point we are closing to 97 points or 100 points in a profit. So you can see that it's based on the ATR, as right at this point it was 51 points, and here it's 100 points with the same settings. So this ATR is based, or this break even is based on the dynamic ATR. Okay, so there is one last thing that I want to show you, and it will help us with this issue, so we don't have to comment out the sections of code that we don't want to use, and we can make some structure in this code. So let's go up here, and this is going to be the last part. Let's create enum break even variations, and let's create variations for all of these. So first one is going to be static break even, the second one is dynamic break even, and the last one is ATR break even. Okay, and this is it. Now let's call input break even variations break even variation. So now we are creating an input out of these variations, and let's set the initial variation to static break even. And yes, now we can go back here and make if-else statements. So if break even variation is equal to static, Then we want to call simple break-even function. Then call else if break-even variation is equal to dynamic. Then we want to call this dynamic break-even function, and there will be also an else statement. So if these two are false, then the ATR break-even function has to be true. So it should be working right now. You can see those types here. So if we select this static break-even, let's test it out. So 250, 100, let's see if it works. So now we should be using that one. So 250 points in a profit, and we are moving it 100 points into a profit, so this works. Let's try the dynamic break even. So at 50, let's say 80%, and we want to move it to 10%, so 50 points. So let's see how this goes. Okay, so this is working as well. And now the last one, let's like 4 and 2. So now it should be a little bit larger, those values. Okay, and we are moving it dynamically. Okay, so this is working. So this is going to be all for this video. I think I just wanted to show you how to do this, and of course you can create your own conditions for your break-even functions. You can come up with your own ideas of how to secure your profits, but this is the structure that you are going to use if you want to implement the break-even into your expert advisor. So this is all for this video. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next tutorial.